Ladies and gentlemen.
I can't really heard what Jeremy says because I got my 2 Stanley Cup rings plugged in my ear.
Introduce.
This is a guy that's going to be traded, though.
You're an announcer with a long stick from time to time.
You think it's my fault? Is that what you're saying? This guy's such an idiot here.
The Puck Luck Fantasy Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Puck Luck Fantasy Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Sudemans, and right over there is your other host, Derek Sudemans. Today we're going to be breaking down the 3-game slate on DraftKings. Don't forget to check out our site, puckluckfantasy.com, where you will find our stacks, value picks, goalie rankings, line matching stats, lots of great stuff. Check it out, follow along, and without further ado, we'll get to our first game between the Washington Capitals and the Columbus Blue Jackets. We got Holtby confirmed and Bobrovsky projected, but tonight is one of those nights where all our goalies are within like 0.05 value. So it really doesn't matter what goalie you pick tonight. They're all average. So pick whatever one fits your line best. And then we'll move on to the stacks.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, all the goalies tonight are really crazily like close in terms of value. So you can pick any goalie that fits your line stacks for tournaments. So make sure you do that. The line stacks for this game, there's definitely a couple that I'm going to be targeting. The main one is the top Columbus line with Dubois, Atkinson, and Panarin. Dubois is really cheap. He's just been dropping continuously, so that brings the whole stack down a little bit from where they were. And they're once again in a great spot against a weak defensive Washington team who's on the road. So you can get a lot of that top line. I'm going to be going there quite a bit. As well as you can actually go to either the third line or the second line from Columbus. Really, our model likes all of the lines that are on the Blue Jackets tonight. So, but the main one that I like to target is that top line. But you can definitely be a little bit more sneaky too, and maybe grab the Vanek, Jenner, and Foligno. They're definitely right up here in terms of value, and I think they'll be a little bit less owned, that's for sure. So if you're looking to pair them with a more expensive stack, that could definitely work for you.
Yeah, make sure you get Seth Jones in
Yes.
on that top line D. He is our top value D for the night, and he matches perfectly with Panarin, Luc Dubois, and Atkinson. So yeah, definitely get Jones in on that one, and then you can even get Werenski in if you're playing the Jenner, Foligno, Vanek line.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. So yeah, definitely go Jones if you're going to go with the Columbus 1 stack, and then Werenski for the second line there if you want to do that. On the Washington side of things, the main line that really popped up is that actually there's a couple that you could use from this game, but I like the Ovechkin line the best. The Ovechkin, Wilson, and Kuznetsov, they're still together. Now that they are back in Columbus, I was doing my line matching research this morning. When they had the Backstrom pretty heavily matched up against Columbus 1. So I expect now that we're back in Columbus now. So I don't know exactly what Torts is going to do. So I've sort of applied a moderate line matching between the Backstrom line and the top line, and the top line from the Blue Jackets, but I don't know if Torts will try to get the matchup and match up the top line away from that Backstrom line, or if they'll just go straight up against them. But we'll see. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, I just did a little moderate in terms of line matching in that game.
All right, and don't forget Carlson. You can stack with that top line. He's good value again, like usual. So yeah, that's a good 4-man stack. I guess we can move on to the next game between the Winnipeg Jets and the Minnesota Wild. Hellebuck projected, Dubnyk projected. Again, pick whatever goalie fits your lineup the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's goalies are a wash again, so we'll go right to the stacks. From this game, we have the top stack of the night, which is the Zucker, Granlund, and Eric Stahl line. So they're still ridiculously cheap. They don't have 20% value over the second line tonight. They have about 10%, but that's still quite a bit. So I'm going to be making I'm going to be doing most heavily. I'm going to be taking that line once again. It's too bad Zucker didn't get in on the action from a couple days ago, but the rest of them had a really great night. So hopefully they can do that once again. And that'll be the line I'm targeting the most.
And they pair up with Spurgeon on D.
No, they pair up with both Dumba because Granlund is on the
split them
first
up.
unit.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is kind of interesting because you can take that line. You can literally put Dumba or Spurgeon, who are both rated really, really high in terms of value. So you can make a lot of different combinations with those guys. And that's really nice too because a lot of time when you're building your lineup, you will want to be able to sort of adjust like a single player to see if you can get that salary to fit. So it's nice that you can swap between Dumba and Spurgeon to see if you can make your lineup match up right there. So that's what I was doing this morning.
Right on. Yeah, that's handy. How about on the Winnipeg side?
Yeah, not a lot. The one that does come up is the Line A Ehlers and Stasny. They will most likely see the Stahl line. So I've applied the line matching so that the Koivu is a very heavy match on the top line from the Jets, which is probably why you see that top line from the Jets drop quite a bit because Koivu's line has been really, really good defensively. And now that since they're at home now, they're going to be able to get that matchup really consistently. So that's why we like the Line 8 Ehlers and Stastny stack from this game, and that's really the only one that I'm going to be touching. You can pair Bufflin with them.
He's dropped off a lot, though. He's like down to the half, maybe average point.
Yeah, so it's definitely doable, but it's one of those, you don't need to. But if he fits, you can slot him in there, but try to get a little bit more value if you can.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to the last game of the night between the Knights and the Kings. Knights going for the sweep here. We got Fleury and Quick projected. Goalie's a wash. Get on with the stacks.
Yeah. So in terms of stacks from this game, there's a couple you can play. The main one that I'll be targeting is the Toffoli, Pearson, and Carter line. With them being in LA again, we expect the Kopitar line to do a heavy match against the top line of the Knights. So that's why you kind of see both of those lines drop down a little bit because they're both fairly decent. Well, definitely the Kopitar line is really good defensively. He's one of the top shutdown centers in the league right now. So that's why you see the top line from the Golden Knights not so high as they were a couple nights ago when they couldn't really get that matchup as well. So you see that there's besides that line, you can do the Kopitar line as well, but they're not as high as we've seen. So mainly it's going to be just all about the Carter line for me tonight. I also really like, in terms of defensemen though, I noticed that Jake Muzzin is back up at the top of our value rankings, and I was doing some research on his ice time, and he actually got, I think, close to like 21 or 22 minutes of even strength, plus a lot of power play and some penalty kill time. So he's definitely still playable. I think our model projects him only to get like 18 or 19 minutes. Actually, we're only projecting him to get 15 and a half. So that's an extremely valuable play right there. I really like Muzzin. And then Doughty is the other option as well, as you can pretty much, he's almost always in a good spot here. Definitely at 5,300 anyways. So yeah, you can pair him to make with your stacks to make a little bit bigger of a stack there.
Right on. And I guess we will head on to our puck luck picks of the day. Who do you got for stacks and cheap, medium, and low price picks?
All right. So at the top of the list, we are going to go with Alex Ovechkin tonight. He's 8,100. There's not a lot of like really expensive picks that show up near the top, so that's why he gets the call tonight. In terms of the sort of like mid to upper range, I really like Mikael Granlund tonight. He's 5,300 and he's a winger from the Wild. And then in terms of sort of like a medium to cheap pick, I like Tyler Toffoli. So he's at 4,300 playing with the Carter line. And then in terms of the really cheap pick, I really like Josh Anderson tonight on Columbus. He is playing on their third line, but like we said, he is a really good player still. And Washington is a really bad defensive team. So if you need a really cheap sort of winger there to fill out your lineup, he would be the guy that I would go to. In terms of, now we'll move on to overall stacks. So The top stack of the night is that Stahl, Granlund, and Zucker line from the Wild. They come in at 16,400. And then my second favorite stack of the night is going to go to the top line from Columbus with Panarin, Atkinson, and Dubois, and they're at 18,500. And then there's one mini stack that I really like from this slate tonight, and that would be a Dumba Granlund combo.
Right on. Sounds good. Don't forget to check out our website. We got that subscription where you can enter your email, be eligible for a subscription next season when we get up and running. Also, you'll get any news, and also where you will find news is on our Twitter account, Puck Luck Fantasy. Follow that. That's your best thing to follow for news and stuff. Subscribe to this channel. This is where we do our main feed for the video. Subscribe to our Stitcher channel if you're on Stitcher, and iTunes is to come. Thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.